G'day, g'day. How are we all? Welcome to the Food Forest Oz. Welcome, Elvis. I'm really good. Although the weather is not so good. Is it, mate? Look out, girls. Yep, it's patchy, it's rainy, it's windy, it's cold. Got an Arctic breeze. So where Adelaide is, we basically get breezes off the Arctic from time to time. They gust in a lot through winter. That's where the rain comes from the ocean. So yeah, it's shit house basically. But that means that it's work time here because I only work on the good days, the sunny days. And today is not one of those. Down in town, it's way worse than it is here. We've probably only got a few mil, maybe 5 or 6, so getting 10, 12. So we called it off. Got to work on Monday, do extra. But yeah, it means I've got to work here. So we've got propagation to do. That's urgent, and I'll tell you why. And I've got compost to turn, and I've got a massive amount of green waste in the ute. And so I need to make a whole brand new compost pile. So stick around for that. We'll take the dogs for a walk. I'll show you some vines. And when you see this stuff, just think it is a drop in the ocean here. The vines that you're about to see, the amount of vines that you're about to see, it is nothing. It is insignificant almost compared to the overall valley and the amount of great production there are here. And I tip my hat to you wine drinkers. You treat us well. Don't stop. Don't let people peer pressure you into not drinking wine. You help a whole community out. So good on yous. All right, let's go and have a look. Let's do some planting. We're in the shed. I normally plant outside, but it's windy, it's horrible, and on cue it's just started drizzling again. It was sunny about 3 minutes ago. So yeah, I've just started planting up. I've got my cocoa coir mix. I have flushed it again because my friend Jane from Rocking Worms said you actually need to flush it 3 times. So that was the 3rd time. They've been really good flushes. The chickens enjoyed it, pecking around with the water coming out the bottom of the pot. So well flushed, ready to go. Nicely mixed with perlite. And while I do this, I'm just going to talk to you about what I'm doing and just the cost of all this sort of stuff. So I could not locally get plastic seedlet punnets, not separated ones anyway. So that was really surprising. I ended up having to get these, which I don't love. I like the idea of them, but they're really hard to cart around when they get wet. And because I plant more than what I grow outside, I like to have a couple of backups. These, if you leave them in the punnet for too long, the punnet just falls apart. But that's the idea, But yeah, you want to be on the money with them. Otherwise, they get quite saggy. And I'll probably cut these actually into the 10 sections. I'll probably cut them into 6 and 4. And that'll make them easier to carry around when we get going. Now, you'll see the seeds that I've got. Eagle-eyed viewers will notice that I have really no hybrids in there. And the reason for that is when I came to this house, I said, you know what, I'm going to start with all new seeds. It's a new place, new soil. I don't know what it's going to be like up there. So I'm just going to start with new seeds and we'll go from there. So I've gone and got new seeds. But the thing is, I bought 30 packets of seeds and at a cost of $5 each, average, which some would be more, some would be less. That's $150 worth of seed. So I don't want to do that every year. So I've bought heirloom varieties and a bid to do experiments and see what works, what doesn't, and collect the seeds off those. Now, a lot of them are going to be quite hard because they will cross-pollinate because I'm growing various different varieties, and that has to be factored in when I'm planting the garden out. So let's go and have a look at that, and I'll walk you through it, and I'll keep planting. Got some Carolina Reaper seeds here just for fun. I actually can't eat chili. I love it, but my stomach does not. So come back in a bit and we'll have a chat about what everything else cost here because it's quite ridiculous, really. Lucky we're going to grow a lot of free food. Okay, so we're all done. I've had to prioritize a little bit. I have run out of space, but not too bad. So I've only got a few things, which a lot of them are carrots, which I need to direct sow, and I've got some going out there. Anyway, I've got some chives, chicken flake chives, the early ones. I don't like any other garlics, any other onions. So let's have a chat about what this all costs. So $150, like I said, for the seeds. And then we've got these Jiffy Pods, plus a humidifier dome, which I had to buy. And then I promptly found my other three up in the top shed, which is where these ones will be going. Perlite, vermiculite, cocoa coir, pods. Then we're looking at about $250. So the eagle-eyed of you out there will have seen that I've pretty much only planted heirloom seeds. The only hybrid I have in here is a Supernova F1 sunflower because I just love them. They produce lots and lots of sunflowers. They don't get too high, so they're a really nice contrast with the big ones and all the other flowers. They're more mid-story, so that's why I grow it. The rest are heirloom, and that's because I want to save the seed. I want to see what works here. Hybrids are good fun. They work a lot. And I've actually do have a hybrid carrot there called a Corunda, which are my favourite carrots. They germinate really well and are easy to grow. But what we'd like is heirlooms that are easy to grow here that we can collect the seed from. So you can see I've put vermiculite on top of it. That's just to let a bit of light through. Seeds that don't need light will be fine with vermiculite. Seeds that need light love vermiculite. So why hedge your bets? Just put vermiculite on the top of it. I don't put it in the medium because it holds moisture and I really want this to drain. Cocoa coir and perlite is perfect, really. So I've crushed, I have rinsed this again. I'll get my other humidity domes out and put them in there. Bottom water, always bottom water. And then hopefully if this rain stops, which is not looking great, we'll go up and we'll create some more compost because I have got massive amounts of compost in, green waste in my ute. So there's probably a couple 100 kilos of grass in there. I've got a couple of bales of straw. I'm going to make one big giant compost inside and I'm going to move that stuff out that I've got, the new compost, and put it in there so then I can turn my competition king compost into the other bin. It's been sitting. It's amazing. I'll tell you about it in a sec. I'm really excited. So what do I have up here? You can see I've got a nice thick layer of grass there. I've got a bale of pea straw. Now these were $15 each and I love pea straw and it is still very cheap, but I've been racking my brain trying to figure out how I might replace this with something off the property to really close that loop because I think I'm going to get a lot more green this stuff than I am going to have brown. So I've had a lot of chip recently, but for the most part I'm going to have a lot of grass. So we've got all that grass, we've got 2 bales of this, and we have 3 really big bags that no way I'm lifting in the side of the ute there. So probably about 200 kilos of grass. And I'll show you this. So this is the Compost King compost. This is amazing. This Johnson Sioux method, it's really the first time I've ever tried it. And I don't know what it is, whether the wood chip just holds its temperature longer, but this thing has been sitting at between 65 and it's down to 61 now, but it's been there for about 10 days. And I've never seen compost do that before. And I think it's a combination of wood chip, having the right ratios, but also having the oxygen go into the middle of that pile. Now, I had that chimney out for about 4 days and it had exactly the same effect because there was that nice, beautiful, round chimney shape in there. And I think the air was also going in or it was being drawn from beneath and then it just has an outlet like a normal fireplace. So what's happened, and it's a really, really big success so far, is that it's just stayed stable the whole time. It's stable, it's beautiful. I can feel it now. It's nice and warm. I know. Let's put this in here, and I'll talk to you about this other one, and we'll see what that's like in a second. And then I've got this one here. So this is just grass and straw. That's been sitting in the hot zone, so around about 56, 57 degrees. And look how small it is. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go and get all that stuff, and we're going to put it into the other worm wedge compost bin in there, which isn't like this. It doesn't have straight sides, so it's not going to heat up as much. But given how much grass I've got, and I think that's probably not a bad thing. I'll have the space in the room, especially now that the shed's cleaned up. I'll have the space in the room to really manipulate it and mix it and maybe thin it out a little bit if it gets too hot, which I think it will. So the key is we want to keep that temperature right, because, I mean, for nothing else, it stinks. Like, it stinks and it really drifts, especially with this breeze. So let's get the digger out. Let's get this out and into there. Let's get all that out and into there. And whilst I've got Ernie Dingo, the digger, and that's great, there's still a fair bit of, muscle equity that has to go into this. So I'm looking forward to it, but, like, be better if Smushy did it. Okay, so this is what we've ended up with. Doesn't look that big, but that's 1.5 by 1.5. It's a bit low. Not sure if I want it a bit higher or not. What we'll do is we'll check the temp tomorrow, and yeah, I reckon it's going to crank right up. So if it does, we'll whack the Johnson Sue chimney in there. We'll make another one, and we'll see how it goes. So just constant checking of temperature. Now I've got to move that other stuff. Come and have a look at that, and then I'll probably let you go. Cool. Let's do it. All moved, all done. I can get a surprising amount out with the digger. I don't even need to get in there by hand, which is great. I thought I would need to get in there with my fork and just get the last little bits out. But the last 2 times I've done it, and I'm getting better at the digger as well. Yeah, straight in, straight in, straight out, straight in. So this is what we've got. There's a lot of steam coming out of that, but this is coming along amazingly. Look at it. That is nearly, well, not nearly soil. I'd say halfway to soil. So beautiful stuff, beautiful stuff. I will sort the edges out by hand just to make sure, get these twigs out, make sure that it's all flat, just so we can give it an even surface. I find that helps when keeping temps up. I don't think I'm going to put the chimney back in here because it's had a turn. I don't think it's going to get that hot, and I want it to get as hot as it can possibly get. So that's it. That's a day at the mini farm, day on the digger. I was nearly going to get Dorothy the chipper out, but it rained, as you saw. So, all right, have a great day. Have a lekker week. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Bye now.